What's up, gang? Just wanted to recap my day at the desk on Friday. It was an interesting day to say the least. I learned some great lessons. I took some unneeded losses. And yeah, just all in all was just a tough day. But let's get into this. I'll kind of go over what I was looking at in the morning and we'll go from there and then get into the trades. Coming to the desk in the morning, we had this move up on Thursday. And, now we are finally taking out the 6,100 level. We've pushed above it. The 6,100 level has been an interesting level for the last little bit here. We've been trying to, actually, let's start this again. So coming into the morning, when I got to the desk and you look at the 15-minute chart like I always do, you can kind of see, looking back on this past week, this 6,100 level, 6090 to 6,100 has kind of been a level of resistance, and we haven't been able to break through it. Well, on Thursday, we had that push higher finally. We took that level out. We had a pullback to it. And then Thursday at the end of market, we pushed right back up through it. So looking at the market in this morning or yesterday morning, sorry, when I got to the desk, I was looking at, we had this big push higher into market close on Thursday, and then we kind of price chop around. Into the London session, we had a pullback down here to the value area high, and we had a push off of that level going into market open. So clearly I'm leaning long bias. I'm not looking at anything else. I'm not touching anything else. I'm not interested. We're above all three key levels of the value area low, point of control, and value area high. So let's just get into the trades and kind of walk through where my mindset was and what happened and the mistakes that I did end up making as the day progressed. So coming into the first trade, this was textbook. Market opens, we have price pulled down. The buyers take strong control here. We take this New York VWAP, we push higher, we break the range, we get the first break of the range. I'm not interested in looking for a long yet. As we know, the first break usually pulls back. If I would have gotten in back here, I would have taken profit at the top of the range, but I didn't get into that trade. So I'm looking at midnight price, which is 61.43, and it's above us still. With the market presenting bullish like this, we get a bounce off the New York VWAP, and we have these two bullish candles. And as we push through this opening range high, I'm already long. Sorry, I got long here on the candle open above the New York VWAP. I'm long 5 micros. I'm looking to take the price up to midnight. There's a large block of orders at 61.50 on Bookmap that I'm quite interested in too. So I'm watching that. I have my final TP set here, but I would look to take profits around midnight price. As we push up, we get this bullish push. As we take midnight, I'm looking for a continuation. And as price finally hits, I think it's 61.45, the orders filled and price pulled down from there. So I get out at midnight. As we come back down, I'm not looking for, I can look to get out here and then look to re-enter down here somewhere on my next trade instead of holding this and being in chop and coming back up. And yeah, I just took profits at midnight. That was the plan. So it wasn't a big win. I'm up $60 in the XFA and up 90 in the straight to funded Tradeify account. So that's basically my first trade. I feel good. The P&L is a little small for me, so that's kind of sitting in the back of my head. As I get into the second trade, this is where things start to, I'm starting. You can tell the decision making is not. I'm not 100% there with it. There's something, obviously the P&L's bugging me. I had some other stuff off the desk that was going on. So I get, a little bit of excited here, and we get this bullish push off the opening range high. I should have waited for the next candle to clear the high day VWAP. As we just barely break it here, I should have waited for a stronger break of it, or at least for this candle to continue and take out this wick. Instead, I get long here. Instantly, this is one of those textbook moves. I didn't wait for a strong break of the high day VWAP, and this, look, we barely take the high day VWAP. Price comes back down. I get stopped out here where my stop is. I don't want anything to do in this trade now. We've taken out the opening range high, New York, and the daily VWAP. Like, why am I going to wait for down here? I'll just look for a re-entry. This was a mistake that I made last week too by putting a bigger stop. So you know what? I did something right. I'm stopped out $200 on the Tradeify account, and I'm down 168 on the XFA. So, I'm looking for a third trade. I'm kind of looking at my last entry and I thought maybe I paid too high. So now I patiently wait till we get a clean break of the high a day VWAP. As you can see here, price just pinned the opening range low on this move down. We come back up to the daily, the New York high a day VWAP. I look to enter long here. I get long here. This price 139 in my head is what I took my first long up to midnight on. So I'm thinking this could be the price that pays and look for a continuation higher here. I enter the trade. I'm still looking at this 6150. The orders are still sitting there. I'm still quite curious now. So as I enter the trade, we come up through the opening range high. We get a pullback, which is totally fine. We bounce off of the New York VWAP and the high day VWAP. We push higher. And at this point, I had moved my stop in my XFA up. I don't know the exact reasoning. Maybe I just wanted to get some, I didn't think there was an, at the end of the day, I should have moved it up to break even, not moved it up to here. As price pulls back down and this move comes in, I get stopped out on the XFA here. I'm down $65 on that account. The Tradeify account, my stop still where originally it is. And as you can see, in literally 3 minutes, boom, I'm stopped out. I'm down 200 on that account. So now I'm not very happy that I took a small loss in the XFA and I took a full loss in the Tradeify account. I should have looked at the way that price sliced the opening range high, sliced these VWAPs, sliced this VWAP. This should have been a sign for me to get out here. There's no reason for me to be waiting for, again, why do I need to be, I took out these three key indicators. Why am I waiting for the opening range low? Like, what am I thinking? This is very new trader, textbook, just amateur move. Get stopped out. Now mentally, I'm not in a good spot now. I'm taking these losses. It's Friday. What do? You see this bearish momentum coming down here. I try to short it. Just a pure FOMO trade. And I go in 10 micros thinking I'll catch this move down. I'm going to get my losses back and make some for the day and be done. Thinking I know everything about the market, and clearly you never do, and let alone I don't. As price came back into the opening range low and came back up to the start of day VWAP here, I decided to cut it. Instead of cutting it, I added 5 more contracts. You can tell clearly mentally I'm not present. I made this fat finger mistake. So a few seconds later, I close it. I'm down another $200. And now I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, smarten up. What are you doing? And so I take a minute. I come back, kind of relax, come back in. I see price finally looks to make a low a day. Price finds some support here at the opening range low, and it's consolidating between that and the New York VWAP. So I'm looking here as this energy is building in my head. I'm waiting for a push higher. These orders, everything is, the CVD is, everything's telling me that, price wants to come higher. And the 6150 now is ingrained in the back of my head, and that's all I've been staring at on Bookmap. And now this is where you can get tunnel vision, which can be a very bad thing when it comes to trading. You got to be able to look at both sides of the trade, look at market action. NQ has been bearish all morning and has not even made a lower low yet. It's just been making higher lows and higher highs. So it was very, 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 the divergence was really throwing me off. I'm like, how could NQ look so bullish and ES be so bearish? Anyways, I patiently wait. As you can see here, the opening range low is a level of support. We get a nice bullish push off of it. We take the VWAPs. I enter long. I enter long on both accounts. As we keep moving higher here and we come through and take the opening range high, I decide to add 5 more contracts on the XFA. And we get to about $300 something in profit here. This is where price starts to pull back. I realize the XFA is now going to be out of the drawdown. It's going to be back into profit for the day. So I pull the trade here. I'm up 260. I got back my losses and another $60 roughly. So this was smart. This was good trading. The issue is now I'm down, I think, 500 in my Tradeify account. So 200 doesn't cut it for me. And what happens is, as price pulls back down, I become more upset with myself. But as price tends to hold this New York VWAP, I'm thinking we're having a same kind of situation we had back here. It's going to consolidate, build up some energy. Boom, push higher. This was a mistake I made. I should not have made this mistake. Clearly, even if my thesis of this pushing higher was right, there was no need for me back down here to add 5 more in at this point. I'm mentally exhausted. I've been in the trade now for over an hour. I have to be off the desk soon. And basically, out of desperation, I added 5 more contracts thinking, okay, if I can't take profit here, I'll be able to take profit back up here around the opening range high, and I'll be able to double my profit now that I added in and minimize the loss. Clearly a mistake on my end. This trade was not presenting anything, like it just shouldn't have added in on a base at the end of the day. Price chops around here. Now we're starting to make a higher low. I'm really starting to get worried. I have to be off the desk shortly. As we pull back down here, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I cut the trade. I'm down $81 on top of the 500. Just silly of me. Like, there was no need for it. I should have either closed here or just closed for break even. But instead, this is the desperation of just trying to hold on to the trade. So at the end of the day, I'm down 6,520. I was down almost 600, but that plus $60 on the XFA brought this down to down 520 for the day. And it was just a battle. And the price action was just, the divergence really, really messed with me mentally. And then being in the trades for as long as I was, and the trades I was taking, entries and exits and pulling them, and just a shit show. Luckily, I'm ending the week green. I'm up $600. I know that normally I would say that's a great feeling, but the way I traded yesterday diminished that feeling for me. And this is something else too. Trading on a Friday when you're up, you should almost really think about, do I need to be trading? Is this something I want to do? As a new trader, you want to just end the week on a high note. I ended the week on this day yesterday, and yeah, and basically had some other personal stuff going on off the desk that added to this. So it was just a shitty way to start the weekend. Here I am today. It's Saturday. I'm making this video. I went through and marked up my trades, and I thought about it, and I need to share this with everyone and just basically get it off my chest. I made some mistakes. I need to learn from these mistakes, and I need to move on. Next week's a new week. We're heading to Thailand for a few weeks, so it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. I'll be trading from there when I do get the chance, but I won't be making it a purpose of trading. It's a vacation. I'm going to enjoy it, so stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll have some fun videos from Thailand coming up here. Cheers.